everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name's Lisa. I am finally back. I know it's been a long time since I put up any Tom MacDonald reactions, and I do apologise because unfortunately I've been missing for several weeks or so now, and it's been one of those things with having a couple of young kids where, you know, they get sick and they've had colds and bugs and things like that. Both me and Neil and Amelia have had COVID as well. That was like several weeks or so ago, and it took sort of like 2 or 3 weeks for us to recover from that. And literally just as I was recovering from COVID, a week or so later, I just started to feel better. Luckily I didn't get it too bad, but I had suddenly developed a cold on top of that. So I'd kind of like tested negative for COVID, but then a cold happened. So obviously my immune system was really low because of the whole COVID thing, and Neil caught COVID within a few days of me catching it or testing positive for it, and then Amelia came down with it. I think it was like a week later, so she was off for a week or so of school, and Zach was the only one that actually didn't get it, although he has in the meantime in the last several weeks had a couple of colds, and he's had a little tummy bug recently as well. And on top of that, we've had Easter holidays and half term to contend with, where the kids have been off for a couple of weeks for Easter, and then they were off for a week for half term. So on just with everything, it's been chaos here, and it's taken a little while to sort of get everybody sort of well and back to normal, and obviously then get things sorted in the house and try and sort of you know, reorganize everything and just get everything back to normal with that. So I do apologize for being MIA for a while, and I'm absolutely fine now. We're all okay, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting back into more regular uploads and getting to some more reactions, certainly with Tom MacDonald Tuesdays. So I'm back for that now. Hopefully there won't be anything for a long time where I sort of like suddenly have to go missing for a little while, but fingers crossed we've sort of like got a lot of colds and bugs and things out of the way for a long time yet. So anyway, today's reaction is going to be to the official music video for Tom MacDonald's track Blame the Rappers, and this is also featuring Dax. The last time I reacted to a collaboration between Tom MacDonald and Dax was Propaganda, and absolutely loved that. That was the first time I was actually introduced to Tom MacDonald. It was kind of done as a reaction to Dax, and that was featuring Tom MacDonald. This time it's the other way around, it's Tom MacDonald featuring Dax. And I absolutely loved it. That was, like I say, my first sort of intro to Tom's music and what he had. And that's when I just decided to do a Tom MacDonald Tuesday, because he had such a huge catalogue of music. And like I say, obviously with several weeks of being off and stuff, it's taking me a while to work through his music, but I'm getting there. So this is one of hopefully a couple of reactions going up for Tom MacDonald Tuesday today. And I'm really excited to see what this one's all about, to see them both collab together again. So without further ado, let's get into it and see what Tom and Dax have for us. This is Blame the Rappers. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm a rapper, but I'm losing my respect for the genre. How many songs about Xanax and alcohol are we dropping? How many kids we gonna kill for we admit it's a problem? Probably stop if it was one of our sons or one of our daughters. We know our demographic is primarily youth. We glorify breaking the law to children in school. Kids copy what we see and imitate what we do. They'll go to jail for doing the things you thought them was cool. We put women in our videos exploiting their bodies, while little girls around the world grab their phone and they watch it. They need a realistic role model, not just a Barbie. They see strippers and escorts, but no lawyers or doctors. Hey hip-hop, what the hell happened? It was power to the people, and we like that stuff. These days you're promoting that it's fun to be an addict, so I'm asking, how could y'all write that, bruh? You can blame the rappers when you blow up.
Wow, such truth.
How about doing drugs? So what happens after these kids grow up? And who's to blame for who they've become? They made it look so cool to shoot those guns.
Wow, okay, just before I carry on, I just want to stop and give my first impressions there. I think Dax is just about to start his part. Just so many truths right there, just in that first verse. Just the delivery on that was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I loved the way he just worded that perfectly. That is, and I mean, I've said it before in other reaction videos with regards to rap and the whole hip-hop genre, And the fact is, he's speaking truth about, you know, what a lot of rappers and people in the hip hop world, they promote all of this, you know, taking drugs and carrying guns and getting laid and all these half naked women and drinking and partying, and yet it's not the greatest example to be setting to the younger people. And I know there are other age groups that listen to rap and listen to hip hop, fine, but certainly as far as the younger people go, is that really the example that people want to be setting for their audience, for the people that listen to their music? And I know, you know, to some degree, yes, I know that people have to take responsibility for their own actions in life and what they listen to and stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, with music, and artists, particularly rap and hip hop and that genre, there is such major influence within that music, and it has such a huge fan base. So many people listen to that kind of music, and it sets such bad examples. The fact of the matter is, you know, you can sort of like say, oh well, you know, people don't have to copy what they hear in the songs. But the fact of the matter is, young people particularly are very they're very impressionable, and they will want to copy that because they will think that, you know, if that's their favorite genre of music, they will sit up and take notice of what that rapper is actually telling them and what they're portraying in their videos, and they'll make out that these things are cool when in fact they're really not. And it's putting so many young people in an early grave or on a really bad path with crime and drug addiction and alcohol addiction and wasting their lives on partying and spending their money on pointless, needless stuff. And it's not to say that, you know, people shouldn't go and spend their money on nice things and you know, flash cars and big houses and jewelry and all that sort of thing, but you know, and yes, people should be free to live their lives and do what they want, but when you're putting that out there to a huge fan base, particularly a lot of those are particularly young people, I think you do also have you should have a certain sense of responsibility of what you're putting out there, of what your music is about and the lyrics of your songs and what you're portraying in your music videos. So it is a huge responsibility, and yes, people individually have to take responsibility for themselves, but you know, can you blame them really for wanting to copy these artists when they see that these artists are cool and, you know, they're known as cool and they're seen as cool and what they're doing is just the way to do things and the way to live their lives? It's really not. It's setting them up for just all sorts of problems, really. So I love the fact that he actually he said everything he said there. I totally agree with, you know, from a point of view, and you know, I don't want to kind of sound like, you know, oh, you're such an old fuddy-duddy and you don't understand and stuff. I must admit, I've never, and I've said this before, I've never really been into rap or hip hop, certainly not modern stuff. If I was going to listen to anything, it would be like the 80s hip hop, like he said, you know, Power to the People, where it actually had a message. It was, you know, the hip hop from then was streetwise. It was teaching you about right and wrong. It was telling you that it was not cool to do drugs. It was not cool to waste your life on partying and sleeping around and you know, just, you know, it was sort of talking about taking responsibility for your actions and making right decisions, making good decisions. And it's kind of lost its way a lot, I think. And like I say, some people say, oh, you're so boring, but you know, it's one thing to sort of like do one or two songs about kind of partying and having a good time and letting your hair down. That's fine. But a lot of these hip hop artists, unfortunately, they've made their career out of talking about this stuff and making it seem cool, and it's really not. I'd rather listen to rappers like Dax and NF and Tom MacDonald, who actually have something really intelligent and important to say that really, you know, get you thinking and teach people things, and you can learn things by, and you can relate to it in the sense that, you know, it helps you deal with any problems or issues that you have in your life, or you know, it's relatable. I'd rather listen to that kind of hip hop than I would, you know, someone like, I don't know, I can't even think off the top of my head. You know, I don't want to be disrespectful, you know, but I can't think of any names off the top of my head, but some of these rappers where it's, you know, that's all they talk about is just getting laid, partying, drinking, doing drugs, shooting each other. It's it's not cool. It's really not cool. So props to Tom. I mean, he's very, very courageous with his music and his lyrics, and he gets straight to the point. He's very unapologetic about who he is and the views that he holds, and a lot of his stuff I do totally agree with. I can see where he's coming from, and this is definitely one of those. So far, this is absolutely brilliant, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Dax has to say. I'm sure he'll probably be in agreement. So let's carry on.
Making music is a privilege and a choice, and if you ever get to be successful, you must understand the people that you influence. I swear by what you say, and that the melodies you sing make wings, build dreams, and fill voids. We got medication straight through voice.
Wow.
Some give life and some destroy, and even though this money seems nice, it can't come, so we must take that as a hint that there's other things in life we should enjoy. We move mountains, we cross states, we play roles in presidential debates. So don't you try and tell me making music is for fun and you don't care about the things that our music help make. Man, I know I'm not perfect, but I'll change. I'm the outcome of this world and my pain, and this music is pills, and I promise this dose that you take won't make you say
You can blame the rapper.
Wow, love that, Dax.
But your favorite songs
Perfection.
are about doing drugs. So what happens after these kids grow up? And who's to blame for who they've become? They made it look so cool to shoot those guns and hate the cops and to get too drunk. You can blame the rappers when you show up and love the songs that make you dumb. You can blame the rappers. Yeah, I'm a rapper, but I swear that I'm embarrassed. Half of these artists can't even talk, they just mumble the lyrics. And the teenagers listen while they rebel from their parents, while the rappers tell them pop a pill, buy Gucci and wear it. They say screw the police, break the rules, smoke weed, buy some shoes you don't need, rep the hood in your street. All these rappers holding guns and now the kids want some. Mess around and kill they homie, you can't clean that blood. We encourage being stupid with our music, and we're normalizing poor moral standards while we do it. Little boys see the way that women look on our videos and assume it's real life, project that image on little girls. It's unrealistic. If you're young and you listen, you are one in a million. You are loved, you are different. Hey, hip-hop. I know life moves on, but while I'm here, how could you write that, dog? You can blame the rappers.
Love that. He's really calling them out.
Your favorite songs are about doing drugs. So what happens after these kids grow up? And who's to blame for who they've become? They made it look so cool to shoot those guns and hate the cops and to get too drunk. You can blame the rappers when you show up and love the song that make you dumb. You can blame the rappers. Dollar bills and popping pills like party songs. It's not cool in real life. Cheap thrills and going till the morning comes. See what that feels like.
Wow.
You can blame the rappers that you know.
Loving this instrumental.
But your favorite songs are about doing drugs. So what happens after these kids grow up? And who's to blame for who they've become? They made it look so cool to shoot those guns and hate the cops and to get too drunk. You can blame the rappers when you show up and love the song that make you dumb. You can blame
So true, everything. Oh, Nova. Nova's done it again. Another brilliantly shot video by Nova. She is, I've said it before, she is just, she's got such an incredible eye for the art that is shooting music videos, the cinematography, the camera angles, just everything. She's just brilliant. She's absolutely incredible at what she does, and it's just such a dream team, isn't it? Her and Tom working together to create these music videos, and you know, obviously with him writing the lyrics that he does and the instrumentals, and I love Dax's part as well. Everything that he said was absolutely spot on. Just everything about that was just perfectly worded, perfectly summed up, brilliantly written. And yeah, I love the fact that they collabed again on a song that is very truthful, very honest, brutally honest, and they were both really calling everybody out that's in the hip hop industry, and or in the music industry, particularly the hip hop genre, and yeah, just basically saying that's where you should point the finger of blame, is that particularly that genre and all these rappers that glorify, you know, rebelling against, you know, your parents and the police and the system, and just taking drugs and drinking too much and partying too much and objectifying women. And you know, there's one thing to kind of, you know, go against the grain a little bit if you know something is wrong, even as far as the system is concerned. But you know, a lot of these kids will do it, and it gets them into a hell of a lot of trouble, more trouble than what they could ever begin to imagine. And it's not done in a good way. It's not productive. It's just literally rebelling for the sake of rebelling, not because they have a reason to really do it, a good enough reason to do it, or because they have a cause that's worth fighting for. It's because they just think that it's cool to commit crime and to arm themselves with guns and to rebel against everybody. And you know, they kind of end up with a chip on their shoulder, because they see that their favourite artist is doing it. And it needs to change. There is so much potential in hip hop, where, you know, like they said, you know, it has such a massive influence on people. It's such a huge fan base, and they should really start, a lot of these artists should really start saying something that's educational, and that it's a lot more influential in a positive way, rather than just making people into rebellious addicts, really. And I just love the fact that they both came together to do this, you know, two brilliant hip hop artists who are incredible at writing songs and melodies, and coming together to write this song together and put it together. And I love the visuals. Like I say, you know, Nova did an incredible job shooting this video, and I love the fact, sounds strange, but I love the fact that it kind of showed Tom like laid in what looked like a dugout grave, so it kind of drove the point home even more visually, because he's talking about the fact that a lot of hip-hop artists, through their songs, they will help put youngsters in an early grave or on a bad path in their life, and ultimately it can lead to them dying young and getting into a lot of trouble. And I love the fact that he kind of decided to incorporate that in the visuals of the video. It really drove home the point of what he was, what he was trying to make, and him and Dax were trying to make. So absolutely brilliant. Nova, she rocks with shooting the music videos, and love the fact that they come up with these concepts, and yeah, just everything about that was brilliant. So on point. Totally agreed with everything they both said. It's basically kind of mirrored a lot of things that I've said in the past about hip hop and the whole genre of music, and the influence that it has over people, and not in a good way, and how that really needs to change. You know, kids need to realise where it's fine, you know, have it in a song and whatever, but you know, living your life like that is completely different, and it's not a good way to go. It really isn't. Start listening to 80s hip hop. That really tells a story, and it really teaches lessons that are worth learning, and it's streetwise, and just I think 80s hip hop will put you on the right path a lot more than today's hip hop will do, unless you're listening to artists like Tom and Dax and NF and maybe even Hopsin. Actually, I mean, a lot of Hopsin's music as well is very similar to this, in the sense that it kind of talks about mistakes made and learning from them, and asking questions and thinking for yourself, and I love artists like that. So yeah, fair play to them both. Really enjoyed this, and I would love to see them collaborate a lot more. Actually, I don't know how many more collabs they've done together. Is this maybe just this and Propaganda? I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, I'd really love to see them collab a lot more in the future, because they really do complement each other. They really go well together. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Loved it. And if you love this too, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with more reactions for Tom MacDonald music on Tom MacDonald Tuesdays, and reactions for other artists on Thursdays and Sundays coming very soon, so stay tuned for those. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.
You'll make it.